Now for the next session, I would like to request Mr. Alok Paul, founder of Berrylush, to share some inputs on how to nurture a D2C brand. I would request a round of applause for Mr. Alok Paul.
Hello everyone. From the first session, I think you did get an idea about what the brand is and what we do. But I would like to start with little bit about our journey and our background, like how we started it. We met a lot of people, in our last 7 years, where a lot of people wanted to start something of their own, but there is always that fear of, the unknown and fear of how to do it. And the same thing, we also face. So I'll start with, like I was born and brought up in Shillong, Meghalaya. And from there, I tagged along with my sister. She got a chance in Jadavpur University. So then I came along with her and I started my schooling from St. Joseph's, Bobazar. After that, I did my engineering from CIM. In my fourth year, I had a discussion with my father regarding my future, like about my career and all. So I already got placed in Infosys, and I was like really happy with whatever the goal was. At that point, the goal was to get a job. We got a job, and that's it. So my father said that, see, what are the plans? What do you have? So I said that I want to join Infosys and everything, and that is how I want to build my career. He said that, see, like I will give you 10 lakhs as seed money. You start something of your own. And the moment he said that, I got like super scared. Like, what am I supposed to do with that 10 lakhs? So I said that no, I'm not ready right now. And that fear of starting was there. So I went and, joined Infosys. During Infosys time, again, every, tea breaks with our friends, we are discussing about how to change the world, all the ideas in the world we had, and all these business ideas, continuously we were thinking of what to do, how to do. But that fear of starting was still there. We thought that, okay, this experience in Infosys is not enough. Let me do an MBA and then try to start something of our own. Then I joined IIM Raipur. Again, like a lot of learning, lot of case studies. But then we realized that this MBA program is not for starting up. It's about how do they make good managers, right? But then what happened is, like, I met my wife Anusha, and there in IIM Raipur, and she also had that bug of starting something of her own. So we discussed and we worked on lot of business plans, right? And then lot of business plan competition we participated. Few were won also, but none of them were related to fashion. It was all about high tech kind of changing the world kind of ideas. But then at the end, I joined a startup. I thought that, okay, this knowledge what I have gained in MBA is not enough to start. So I thought that, okay, let me join a startup and then I will start my own. Still, that fear inside never went away. And then, I worked in that startup, got a lot of learning about how to, operate a startup in a lean manner, in a frugal manner with limited resources. And then my brother, he left his job and he plunged into it, and he said that we'll start this e-commerce consulting firm. And that also how it happened was, I was traveling from I think from Kolkata to Delhi. I met one person. He had a shop in Nehru Place, and he was selling mobile adapters and chargers. And then I tried to understand more about his business, like how he does things and all. Then he said that he is selling his products in Snapdeal. So I was very intrigued, there that, okay, how is he selling there? Means before that, I used to think that all these marketplaces, they sell their own. Like a Flipkart sells all the products on their own, and the concept of seller and marketplace, we did not have an idea about that. But the more I talked to him, I understood that there is a concept of this marketplace and how anybody can sell things online, right? But then we realized that it's not a very easy thing to do. It's kind of difficult because there is a lot of tech and a lot of things which are involved there. So then we discussed this with my brother, and he said that okay, let's do it. But still, I continued with my startup job, and he plunged into it. And that is when I thought that okay, enough is enough. Now let me get into it, and then we'll see what happens. So to begin with, we started talking to multiple businesses, how to take them online and things like that. Luckily, we got a few very good clients, and one of them was a manufacturing unit in Noida, and they were selling. They were one of the largest. They were the largest equestrian product makers, horse riding product makers in the world, but their business was completely offline. And when I discussed with the founder of that organization, Mr. Varun Sharma, he was saying that their business is degrowing 4% month on month, right? So they were in a very tricky situation there, and they wanted to do something drastic to pull themselves out of that. And then I told him about the whole thing, that how you can do things in Amazon and stuff like that. And we took them from zero to $14 million in 3 years. And the business which was degrowing at -4, it started growing in the range of 25% year on year. So that was something exceptional, and that's the power of online, right? And then simultaneously, Anusha, she was very passionate about the fashion industry. She wanted to do something in the fashion world, but at the same time, how to go about it was, so she had an idea that we'll start a store, and then we'll sell through that and all. But it required a lot of capital, right? Then as we had a good understanding about the online space and how to go the e-commerce route, then we decided that we'll start with a brand. Initially, again, no clue about the clothing industry, how to manufacture products. We only heard about things like manufacturing units, MOQs, large MOQs are there. You can't create a brand like that. So then first thing what we did was we started trading, means we started procuring products, rebranded it as Berrylush, and then started selling it. Then we realized that that's not going to work, because no control over style, no control over the things that we wanted to do, and no control over the cost. So then we thought that, and by the time we already had a good network of these manufacturers, because we were providing these services to them, right? So one of them, he was a jeans manufacturer. We took them online. They were doing decent business, and he said that to start manufacturing, you don't need much things. You just need like 4 machines, tailor, master, and you can begin. So we took a space, 400 square feet of area, and we took. He provided us with the machines, and we started manufacturing. The first month we manufactured was 900 units. Just to give you a perspective, right now we are manufacturing around 1,50,000 units per month. So there, when we started with 4 machines, it was something which gave us a lot of control over the product, and that is what that we thought that is what we need. So during the initial stage, the only thing that we were looking for was a product market fit. Basically, the products that we are creating, the price at which we are selling, and the customers, are they delighted by that or not? And in online, to get that understanding, it's very easy, because there are ways in which the customer is communicating with you, right? Like the reviews and ratings are there, the photos and Instagram sharing and all these things, you get a good idea. So we were able to get that product market fit very quickly. So again, to get that, roughly it needs around 1,000 to 2,000 orders, and you will get that idea. Or if it doesn't work, right, so you need to pivot and create change the kind of products that you're making, and try something else. We were lucky enough that the first go only, the wide gap analysis that we did, mainly what Anusha understood was that highly trendy products were not available in India at a price range of less than 1,000. There were brands, but they were above 3,000, and there were sellers selling in marketplaces, but they were not brands but just sellers, right? So the quality and everything had a lot of gap. So that is the gap that we analyzed, and we thought that we should get into that, and that is what we tried to do. And we were lucky enough that the first go it worked out. But the first go it worked out from a product market fit, but the business model was not set. So it was like creation of the brand, the products, then launching it, and then getting the feedback from the customers, and the product market fit is achieved. Then the second, after that, the second stage is getting the right business model in place. That is where we started manufacturing, because we wanted more control over the products and the complete supply chain. Because we wanted to build a fast fashion brand, and we wanted to launch, as many styles as possible every month. Right now, we do around 150 styles on a monthly basis, and we do not have the concept of season, and roughly around 5 styles get launched every day, right? So for that to happen, we needed a complete control over the supply chain, and that is where we build our business model, and we said that this is how we are going to operate. So right now, how we operate, 15% is our own manufacturing, 85% is through job workers, but again the materials and all is procured by us. So at this stage, the business model is set, we are growing again, like the growth was super, from 4 crores we went to 16, from 16 to 32, 32 to 63, and this year we are going to close at around 76 to 78 crores. So as the growth was quite significant, right? So our complete focus was on the top line, but efficiencies were not built in this, like the processes and the systems, and that is when we implemented ERP through Ginesys, and that is where we were able to focus more on the details, because initial 3-4 years it's all about the top line, it's all about like how much can we sell, because we wanted to build a brand, right? But then at second, after the business model is set, there comes the scaling stage. So you scale the brand as fast as possible, but then in that process you are not efficient enough. So then we have to look at that, how do you build efficiencies in that? And then this is the stage at which we are right now, and we are creating a lot of processes, we are creating a lot of systems, implementing a lot of things. Even ERP, from the day you implement and by the time you actually can utilize it in a full-fledged manner, it takes a lot of time, right? Like you will have a lot of raw data, but that data will not make any sense. That data will only make sense when you are able to refine that data and make sense out of it, and that is where you can take decisions. So today also, when we are looking at our PNL, we still have to wait a period of a month. Like every month we analyze it for the full correctness. Like we get the PNL on everyday basis also, but fully correct data we get only after a month. But that is what we are right now working on, that everyday PNL we can get, every slice and dice we can do, like every category, every price band, every this is what we are focusing on right now, so that we are able to create a continue as a profitable company and continue to scale in that manner, right? And the last stage which we have not reached of a brand is basically when we talk about the reaping the benefits, right? Like how do you sustain the growth? Now when you're looking at our brand, we primarily started with the main brand, which is Berrylush. Then we had a few categories like dresses, tops, coats, jumpsuits. Then we added few more categories, so that is kind of brand extension that we did. Then we launched a sub brand called Berrylush Curve, right? So that was a concept where we launched the products from sizes 2XL to 7XL. That was one of the things that really worked out well for us. Just to give you a perspective, right now the inventory that we carry of Curve is around 15%, right? But the revenue that it generates for in the website, it's around 35%, right? So it has a lot of even this sub brand is very different from our primary brand from the consumer segment point of view. Like the retention rate is much higher, the loyalty is much higher, the number of line items that people have in every order is much higher. So again, this was like kind of a brand extension that we did, but by creating a sub brand, not a category but a sub brand. Then we got into a category where it was a completely different supply chain, completely different thing, but we thought that it goes well with our brand. So then we launched the bags and accessories category. Now that was again, something that we felt there was a gap. Again, it's like a startup within a startup when we launch bags. So we identified the gap that, like stylish looking laptop bags were not available for women, right? So means available not at like large number of styles. So we thought that let's get into that, and we started doing that. So again, we had to learn how to like do the manufacturing in the bags category. We did that. First 8 months, it was a very like a highly loss making thing, and we were, because we had to put in a lot of money in the machineries and things like that. And there was a point where we thought that we'll stop that completely. But then something is, as an entrepreneur, you don't feel like giving up that easily, right? So we thought that let us give it one more shot, and then we launched few more styles, and then it slowly started picking up quite well. And right now it is breaking even and profitable in itself. And we are doing around 65 lakhs on a monthly basis only from bags category. So that is how, like when you're scaling the brand, ways in which you can extend and utilize the brand value by adding more categories, adding more sub brands, adding more so even one more sub brand that we are we have added recently is called Berrylush Bizwear. So it is mainly targeting the workwear segment. So again, these are the things that you can do once the brand has scaled to a certain level. And when we are looking at like when do we start the offline journey, this question comes up many times, like as a brand, as a D2C brand, when do we go omni channel, when do we start our offline stores? See, there is no right answer to that, like when exactly, but I feel that the moment you can take it as a business, you can take it as an advertising cost rather than something which has to make money for you, or in a sustainable manner, you can get into that. So right now, means the perspective that we have is like, see, a hoarding on a monthly basis in a prime location will cost us like around 2 lakhs a month, say, and that store costs us 2 lakh a month. And that gives us a brand positioning in between, like brands which are already established, and it's a much better way of investing rather than a hoarding. So we see that value in that, and that is how we but again, it's a very different business model. It's a very different thing from online, and we are learning. And once that these 6 stores of ours are able to run in a sustainable manner, that is where we'll be adding more stores. But definitely offline is something that really can add value to your brand. So just to give you a perspective, right, like right now offline stores are generating like maybe 2.5% of sales or total revenue, right? But when we launched our first store, second store, third store, the amount, like we used to post it in LinkedIn and all, right? Then people started, like the from a business perspective, it was nothing, because the significance of the sales was very low because we were just 6 stores. But from the end consumer point of view, and from people who see the brand, they started recognize it as a brand, and they started like messaging and congratulating us, like on opening the store and all. And to give you a perspective, like all the stores combined, what sales we do in Myntra, half day we do that sales. So in a month what we do is half day what we do in, say, Myntra. But from the end customer, it's a very different thing. It's like now the brand has established. Online brands se move okay, they have gone, now it's the brand. So I feel that this is very, very critical, and it's very important, especially for somebody who is trying to create a brand. If you are into trading, obviously you will look at only on profit and loss and things which make sense to you. But if you are trying to create a brand, and that is what the business is all about, like in clothing, see, it's a kind of a commodity at the end of the day, right? Like everybody can make similar products, anybody can copy you, but nobody can copy the brand. Like, see, it takes 7 years, multiple things happened in our journey, and all this permutation combination happened, and then finally a brand like Berrylush is created. Now, somebody to replicate that with money you cannot replicate, or else no acquisitions would happen, right? They would just pump in money and create brands, right? So basically it is very difficult to copy a brand, but copying products is very easy, right? So that is what our thought process is, and that is what we are trying to do here, is that create a brand and eventually become a brand from India, which is global in nature, right? So cross-border sales is something, again, we are evaluating. We will see how to do it, but right now the headroom that we have in India itself is so big that this is something, when we think that like the growth will stagnate, or the like the rate at which we are growing is lower, then only we'll think about cross-border. But again, from a tech point of view, from a compliance point of view, we are thinking that what are the different things which are required to go cross borders. So we have already started, and basically in one line, that is what we are trying to create. That is a brand from India, global in nature, right? So thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can ask me. So again, see, if you look at how we built, so you can repeat so that everybody can.
So what I wanted to ask you is that like you have built a brand in India. It took you quite a few years. Now, if you want to go into a new geography, considering that the world, especially in Asian part of the world, people love everything that comes from a Gora country, right? So if you are from India, and let's say you go to a place like Malaysia and you want to sell products, you will have to establish a brand. People don't know, right? There is no brand recall. Forget about recall. You are just starting out, right? So you'll have to isn't it not like redoing what you did in India altogether from scratch?
Not from scratch, because I'll tell you why. So see, the strategy will be basically, when you're looking at our product portfolio, say 3000 odd products are there, right? We know each and every details of these products. Which product has high return rate, which product has low return rate, which product has high reviews, right? So we select, say 300 to 500 products and go to a particular country. Now, when you look at, okay, we don't have any brand recall and things like that. That is the reason why we will go in the marketplace route, right?
Okay.
And when we go the marketplace route, this is like a science. This is like something, how to growth hack a brand anywhere in the world. Right? And especially with us, we do have an experience in global market, because we started with Amazon.com.
Okay.
Right? So that is like one of the strengths that we have. So we know how to do it, but again, I'm not saying that it will be successful. If it was 100%, I would have done it today only, right?
True.
But the thing is that we at least have the like the steps that we need to take to achieve. We know that how to do it. And see, at the end of the day, any new geography or any new place you go, obviously there will not be a lot of brand recall, zero brand recall. But see, when we started Berrylush here in India, there was the same case, right? But it is like again going to be a startup within a startup, like a geography,
Right.
new geography. But here we have more data, we have more products, we have more muscle power, we can spend more money on ads.
True.
Right? It's very different from when we started in India. So
Right.
I feel that chances of success will be higher because you have a lot of data with you.
True. But again, so the playbook would be to start out with a marketplace, and then so that you get that reach immediately, and then perhaps you'll start adding maybe offline or your own supply chain there,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
But then again, you are relying on the fact that there are efficient, good marketplaces there. So, for example, in a place like Singapore, there isn't much.
Yeah, so we will not select that.
People actually,
like, see, basically we have
you
the
purchase
whole
a product
globe,
from
right?
Lazada, it comes from China.
Right. I understand what you're saying. I understand, but the thing is that, see, like just to give an example, in Australia, Amazon.com did not have their warehouses, right? So if Amazon does not have FBA, means it's not successful there, right? So it was not successful. All the orders that used to come in Amazon Australia were shipped from US actually, right?
Okay.
So then 4 years back, they launched their warehouses there, and now it is something that is a very, very good channel for or a country for us to get into. So the thing is that, see, even if a organization like Amazon is going to countries one by one and selecting the geography and understanding, and when it is the right time to expand there,
True.
that is what they are doing, right? So even if you look at Amazon, how many countries they are in, like say Europe, North America, India, Australia. These are only the countries where Japan, this
True.
is the countries which they are, right? They are not in the whole world.
True.
So for us as a brand, we don't have to go to the whole world. We have to just see where Amazon is, just tag along with them. Right?
No, there are good emerging local ecosystems like,
Yeah.
for example, Noon
Yeah,
in the Middle
absolutely.
East,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely. So these are the things that, again, see, everywhere we go, you have to be really focused. If you think that we can just send the products and list it and then it will sell on its
No,
own,
it won't.
that is not going to happen.
So true.
So you have to build the team and everything, like to any geography that you select, you have to have a focused team.
Right.
Then only you can, build it.
True, absolutely true. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Mr. Alok, pleasure to hear from you. My name is Purnangshu, and I wanted to understand. You spoke about performance marketing a lot in the first half of your session. Now, but you said your strategy initially was to first go to the marketplaces, create a sort of a website as a brand presence, right? Now, you are an established brand on Myntra right now. So, how has your priority shifted on the marketplace as far as marketing is concerned, compared to when you first started out as to now?
So, see, it did not change. See, what happens is, like, basically when you look at marketplace versus a D2C website, marketplace is more predictable. Predictable means P&L is predictable. You know that if I sell this much, this is the EBITDA that you can get. In D2C, it is not like that. In D2C, there are lot of things which come into play and things can go haywire, right? And that is something that you cannot control very easily. So it is kind of unpredictable at the first place. But we do not look at D2C as a channel that I am competing with Myntra. Means I want to get orders off Myntra to my website. That is not the goal. If you look at our website now, there is one thing that we have done, which is a little bit like, maybe we are one of the only, a few brands who did it, is like we have a mechanism in which if a product in our website is out of stock, right? More than say small, medium, large Excel is there, a product listing is there, large and Excel is not there in our website. If somebody comes to that product page, there will be buy on Myntra link also just below that.
Utilizing the omni-channel model over there.
Not omni-channel, it is like kind of people can click and go to Myntra to purchase it because many products
From
are there. Where
other
outright-
inventory stock points, basically. From other inventory stock points.
Yes, because Myntra owns certain products of ours, like outright purchase they do, right? So
Right.
the point is that when we look at website and Myntra or Flipkart or our stores, we look at it as a distribution channel, right? But when we look at marketing in our P&L also, when we do our MIS, right, we do not take the whole of D2C marketing and put it under D2C. We take a percentage of that and put it as a overall brand level. Because what is happening is that lot of customers are discovering us through the website, but they are not comfortable with the website. Again, an account has to be created. Again, like refund and exchanges can be an issue. So they just simply discover the product in the website, but go Myntra and buy, because they are more accustomed to that buying process. Then there are some people who are like brand loyalists. They want to buy from the website, right? So then they come and buy from the website. Then there are people who are just bargain hunters. Wherever they get the deal, they'll go. They get a deal better in Myntra, they'll go there. They get a better deal in our website, they'll go there, right? So when we are looking at marketing, first of all, we are not trying to compete with the marketplace. We are a channel, we are generating revenue good enough. Even if we do not generate revenue, it is the place where we can talk to our customers in a better manner. We have more control over the content. Like product page can be done in my way or our way, right? Home page can be designed in our way. How our brand has to be represented to the end customer can be done through the website. Same way in Instagram, if you see, we focus a lot on UGC, like user generated contents, right? So are the actual customers who are wearing our products. So these things we showcase in our website also, right? But that kind of level of like customization or that level of thing is not available in Myntra. So you have to utilize your website because you have more control over that channel, right? But again, these are not competing channels. These are all like helping us. The end goal is to build the brand, and everyone is helping us. That's it.
Thank you very much.
No. If without ads people come, yes. But why will people come without ads? So that is the whole concept of D2C, right? It's about like either you need to have a lot of fund, like to back up that burning that you are doing, because at the end the goal is what, that more and more customers that you acquire, you will be able to retain them. And once you retain them, that the cost of acquisition that you are burning today, you will yes, but then many companies will not have that level of investment or that level of capital to burn for so long, right? So that is the reason. See, today if I want to generate in our website, if I want to generate like 5 crore of business, right away we can do it, but the ROAS will be like maybe 4 crores, 4 crore of ad and 5 crore of revenue. And there are people who are doing one ROAS people are happy with, right? Because that is what they are see, at the end of the day, it's all about how much like resources you have. And if you have the resources, you burn what's there, because at the end of the day the brand is building, and in the long run, see, the brands what we are trying to create, it's not for a short term, it is for a long term. After we go also, it will continue to be, right? So in the long run, it will definitely work out.
Sir, thank
Yeah.
you. You have given fantastic insight of the business, and I'm so I want to thank you,
Thank you,
really.
thank you.
And I have a questions like you're in the Myntra and you have your own offline store as well, right? And Mint also purchase outright, you said.
Yes.
So is there any difficulty when you're setting a price point? Like what are the difficulty you face basically? In your offline and online, how you solve that problem actually?
So we did not solve the problem yet, right? So this is a problem. So the
Okay.
thing is that see, what happens is in our kind of brand, pricing is dynamic in nature, right? Like it's basically a price at which we try to sell. If it doesn't sell, means a product which is not doing. So any product we categorize into 4 things. Okay, one is like when we launch a product, we do not know what it is, so it's like a blank kind of a thing. Once it starts selling, then within 15 to 20 days we realize that whether we need to continue with the product or we discontinue the product. So active and discontinued. If it is discontinued, then we do not care at what price we are selling, we just finish it off. We do not try to keep the inventory. Active are the ones which has future. These are the ones which can become bestsellers. So then we replenish those products, means we make it again, right? After making it again, then we continue selling. So price is a function of DOH, means days on hand, means inventory, how many days you have in hand. Based on that we fluctuate the price, right? So in online you can do that, in offline you cannot do that. Means we can do that, technically it is possible. Like if our app is there, people go and scan the product, they see the right now what is the price, but it is not a very good experience. So what we try to do in store is try to give a flat discount or things like that. And we have a different offer, like you buy one you get this, buy two get this, buy three get this, kind of a thing, which you do not have in the online. So you cannot compare. For as an end customer, you can compare prices, right? But when you say that, see here, if you buy 3 you get a perfume free, so how do you compare that versus the discounting that is happening in online, right? So that is how we try to do it. But again, it's very difficult to maintain price parity between online and offline for a brand like ours where dynamic pricing has works.
I have thank you for that answer, sir. I have second question, which is I don't know, like you have already given the answers, but in a different way, that anybody can copy your product, but not the brand. That was excellent answer. But still, I will ask you, like, suppose your product is vulnerable, like your product has a fad which is very small, and within that time of period, you have to sell your product. Otherwise, you will be in loss. During that time, if anybody copies your product, as you are in fully like fashion brand like us, like we cannot put our best seller on internet. Otherwise, it will be copied immediately and it will be sold. So, what would be your suggestion for us, like small company? What should we, what are the steps we should think of, not copying it?
So see, one thing is like, I'll just tell you one of the cases that happened with one of our products. So we just try to understand that, like how many brands are copying our product. We tried to do an analysis. So one product was there, which was a top selling product for nearly 3 years, right? It is still in the top 20 kind of, but it has gone from the 1 rank to maybe 15th or something like that. So we did an analysis and we saw there are 35 brands that we could find who copied that product. Right now, the thing is that if you are trying to, build something in India, you have to, see, you can take inspiration, but my suggestion would be that don't take inspiration from the marketplace where you are selling, right? Take inspiration from other places, and see, at the end of the day, it is the wide gap analysis that you have to do for every product, right? Like if the products are not available, then only you will be able to get a traction. But it does not mean that you cannot, copy at all, because there are certain product categories which are core products, right? Like a trouser, black trouser cannot be very much different, right? So yes, you can, copy that. But again, to create a brand, you cannot do it basis of that. So see, understanding the trends, understanding what is happening globally, these kind of things are very much required. Like an analytical way of looking at trends is very, very much required. But it does not mean copying of the products, right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, everyone. Okay, I think.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to thank you first. You have shared a lot of valuable experiences with us. I had a question from the first session, actually, I missed. You have pronounced one term, that is organic ways in terms of retaining customer. Can you explain it more elaborate from your own practicing example? If you have from your own practice, can you make it a bit elaborate? Thank you.
Can you just repeat that last bit?
Now I'm asking you have pronounced organic ways for retaining customers.
Organic ways of retaining customers, yes.
That is the thing. I want to know that, can you explain it from your own practicing example?
I got the question. So see, basically when you're looking at, customers and the way you target them, you have to think of a funnel, right? See, funnel strategy has to be there. There will be a top of the funnel, there will be middle of the funnel, there will be bottom of the funnel. So top of the funnel is the kind of content or the kind of copy that you create is for broader mass, right? Because you're trying to figure out which is the right audience for which this kind of products work out. So it will be more about generic kind of ad where you're talking about the brand, you're talking about the categories that you deal in, or you in general you talk about the problems that you're solving, kind of at the top level. Then at the middle level means what? People who have seen the ad at the top level, they click on that, go to the website. Now they have come to the middle of the funnel. Means what? You have already got them in the funnel and they have entered into the next stage. But still they have not purchased, right? Means they have just come. So now you will see that what are the different products that they are looking at, what are the different things that they are doing, right? And then you will start retargeting them from there. You start at the bottom of the funnel, you retarget them and convert them and create the purchase. Now in the bottom of the funnel, so these first two things you can do with the ads. And then the third thing, bottom of the funnel, you can do with ads also, and you can do with other ways of doing it is what? Basically, once the purchase happens, you try to retain them. Means what? You already have customer data. You can retarget them through SMS, email and WhatsApp, say. These are much cheaper ways of retargeting the customer. At the end of the day, you have to pay there also, but it is not like ads, right? Like at a much cheaper manner you can do. But when you are at the bottom of the funnel, when you are trying to retarget the customers, at that stage you have to look at segmentation is very important. Means what? Like for example, in our case, Berrylush and Berrylush Curve is there, right? Like two different sub brands are there. Now if I try to retarget my Berrylush Curve with a Berrylush offer, like I'm showing Berrylush products to the Berrylush Curve customers, then it is a completely it's a wrong way of doing it, because it does not make sense to that customer, right? So Berrylush Curve customers, when we are retargeting them, we need to show them Berrylush Curve products only. So that's why segmentation is very important. Means you don't take, say you have a database of say 10,000 customers, you don't take one ad and bombard them with the same thing. You cannot do that. Then you will see that the open rate, the click rate, the purchase, everything is low. But if you segment them and then you do the retargeting, you will see the response, means your cost will also be lower and you will be able to retarget them and retain them in a better manner. Right? See, again, the question here which we are asking, it's a discipline itself, right? It's a huge thing in itself. But just to give you one understanding is that, see, having a funnel mechanism and having a funnel strategy is very important. You can read about it, study about it. There are a lot of resources which are available. But in general principle, this is the way you do retargeting. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. And I hope the audience has learned a lot about your business and how a D2C brand is nurtured. So thank you, sir. Thank you for the presentation. Yeah.